Wind Down Wednesday is brought to you by Mila Eve Essentials. Visit MilaEveEssentials.com for 100% pure, therapeutic essential oils and other products. Nature knows best, and so does Mila Eve.
Can you hear that? Can you hear it? You know, I always want to keep that beat going.
I'm telling you, you gotta rap over that. You got to. It's so good.
I know. Look, one of these days I'm going to make some time to write something for that beat because I just love it. What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Look, it's been a long week. I'm really excited. Hey, Ada, what's going on? Thank y'all so much for coming to Wind Down Wednesday. As always, come on and pile into the room. Look, I'm on cloud 9 right now because I just did my first premiere of my early access for Binder Time Part 1, and it was a huge success and got some great feedback. Yay! And look, today was Trans Visibility Day. I know you've been busy, Miss Activist.
Yes. Trans Day of Visibility. Thank you for being an ally for the last 18 years. But it's been pretty busy. A lot of girls, because we're not hiding anymore. We haven't hidden for a long time, and we're discussing what it was like before, what it's like now, and we wish that we could take the ancestors with us, that all the girls whose shoulders we stand on. So it's been a great day. It's been a busy week. And it's only Wednesday. So I'm really proud of you, as I always tell you, and just to see your whole entire journey has been amazing. I'm blessed to have been a part of it, and to see where you are now is just like incredible. Thank you. Yes. I could have done without you.
Hi, Bianca. So listen, tonight we have a very special guest. I am so excited. Y'all are going to get a different kind of show tonight because we are talking about therapy. And a lot of times people always have like their different, feelings about therapy. Should you do it? Should you not? I have a huge question, which is how do the therapists seek therapy? So we're going to really talk about a lot of things, hopefully open people's eyes to therapy and how great it is for you. And without further ado, I want to announce my special guest, who is none other than Danisha Reed of SUGAR Counseling, LLC. And she just so happens to be my cousin.
Hello. This is pretty cool. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, everybody, welcome Denisha to Wind Down Wednesday. All of our regulars are here. Y'all are always amazing. So
yes,
before Denisha has an incredible story about how she came up with the name SUGAR Counseling LLC. So before we get into it, I would like for us to go ahead and have a sip of our wine. What are you drinking tonight?
Well,
how you gonna sip it without toasting me, man? Are you tripping?
Listen, I told you it's been a long week. It's been such a busy week. I need a drink so bad. Should I tell you what's in here?
Tell me what you're drinking. Yes.
Well, there's pink Moscato in here. However, there's also some watermelon and peach flavored vodka in here too.
Oh, you got everything. Denisha, what you having tonight?
Just a little Pinot Grigio. Keep it light so we can wind down and talk about some good stuff.
Awesome. And
I'm
drinking a cab. I'm drinking Cake Bread Cellars tonight. I don't know if you can see it. It's like my lights are like blasting it out right now.
Yeah, it is.
Cake Bread Cabernet. And this is why, look, there's no lipstick marks. I haven't had any sips. I have fasted. I did my moon fast over the weekend. So I haven't had a glass of wine since last Wednesday. So this is my first glass in a week. I literally did no alcohol, no animal parts, no seafood, no dairy, well, I don't do dairy anyway, but no eggs. Like I literally did fruit, veggies, water, juicing, soups, and all of that for a week. And I'm ready for some wine.
That's why you're glowing. That's why you're glowing.
There you go. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. This is literally all vodka. I'm going to be so drunk. Look. It's like a drug addict getting their fix. Oh, like it goes straight through your veins.
I missed you.
I cannot.
Comments. Tell me what y'all are drinking on tonight. Mo is like, I'm glad this fast is over. Yes. Oh my God. But it was great. It was great. I meditated. I prayed. It was really good. It's just like, you just need that. To me, the Egyptians back in the day used to fast monthly. So I think I might start incorporating this monthly, just doing a week, just to restart and re-energize yourself. Yes.
I might do it with you.
Okay.
Because it's right before the birthday. I need to.
Yes. All right. We'll do it. So Denisha, welcome. I want to hear more about your journey. How you came to have Sugar Counseling LLC, your private practice. How did you get there? I want to hear all of it. I want the listeners and the viewers right now to understand the things that you went through to get where you are. Another beautiful boss, and she is a mother as well. So all about Not for Lazy Moms. And she has 4 children, my little cousins, who I haven't seen in forever, but my baby is like not even a baby no more. Like he is grown.
Yeah, he's 18. He's 18. He's 6'3", and tall, handsome glass of water.
Oh my gosh! Wow. All right, so tell us more about Sugar.
Yeah. So it's probably been about 10 plus years since I've been working in counseling. And it started off with just me going to college and doing taking intro to bio. And when we started to dissect things, I said, I don't want to do this. You know how we have these childhood dreams of like, oh, we want to be a vet. We want to be a pediatrician. I want to work at
Burger King. Remember, I wanted to work at Burger King. That was my goal when I was younger. I wanted to work at Burger King because I used to eat Burger King so much.
I'm surprised you didn't want to be a vet.
I did. Me and Denisha wanted to be vets.
Okay.
Denisha,
that makes sense.
Remember when we had our bird club where we would rescue birds that fell out their nests and stuff?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. I remember, what was his name? Mr. Earl, that you had that squirrel that was supposed to be in your home, but you kept it.
And now she has T'Challa. Look at that.
Yeah.
Too funny. All right, so you were like, I'm done with biology.
We all have those childhood desires, and then when we actually go explore it, we change our mind, and that's okay. I ended up getting out of biology immediately and just took the next intro class, didn't care what it was, and it was psych. And then you have that aha moment. Never thought in a million years that I would be a therapist or anything like this, but the aha moment of, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. And, getting my bachelor's, getting my master's, and having over maybe 4,000 hours before you can even be licensed in New Jersey. And I know each state is different. And then you come across other humans of all walks of life. And it's a beautiful thing to see people succeed. So funny story with Sugar. I love Sugar because it just has a nice story to it. So, one day when I was on my way out the house, I had a retired couple across the street from me, and she's like, she must have been about 70, 80 years old, and she ran across the street out of breath and was like, Denisha, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought something happened with her husband, and she asked, can she have Sugar? And I was like, wait, didn't make the connection. How are you like really, really overwhelmed about sugar? I gave her sugar, wished her on her way, and then she left me sugar on my doorstep the next day. But, I just sat to myself and I said, wow, wouldn't it be great if all of our problems were about sugar? Simple, right? Yes. I'm going to say like 4 years later, it dropped into my spirit and God said it can. He brought me back to that whole situation, that whole scene. And he said it can. And I'm like, wow, sugar. And then I started to develop acronyms and different things for that. And synthesis under God's authority, restoring us back to a place of balance, a place of wellness, back to where we need to be. Because I think when we live a life that's not balanced, mentally, emotionally, physically, chemically, then we're going to have a lot of issues, So that's the birth of sugar. And then, it just takes years. It's always like a nugget drop here. I worked in different fields of counseling. It's a big field. I worked in addictions. I worked in a school system. I worked in in-home counseling for a great deal. And I arrived here maybe about 4 years ago with my private practice, but also working for a group practice in Hammond. And I work with other clinicians, and we have that group practice. So now I'm back in outpatient. Counseling has different levels of care. So you go from hospitalization, which is the ultimate level of care, and you go all the way down to outpatient.
Wow.
And so I tell myself in outpatient.
For sugar again. I'm gonna share it on the screen. Tell me the acronym for sugar again.
Yeah, sugar stands for synthesis, store.
Synthesis under God's. I forgot the A. Synthesis under God's anointing restored. Authority restored. Got it. Okay. Authority restored. I'm gonna put that up on the screen for people now. Cool. There we go. So if people are listening, watching, y'all can see exactly what it stands for. Now, what types of people do you counsel? Do you counsel couples, or is it an array of people, like children or adults? Like, what is your typical client, and what are some of the things that you enjoy most to counsel when you're seeing these people?
Yeah, so I started out with children. I love children. I did play therapy for a substantial amount of years. And that was enjoyable. And they got older, and adolescents, obviously, you travel with them. Some children come at the age of 4, and you like traveling with them through their years, which is pretty cool. So children and adolescents, I had a nice amount of years in. And then I started working with families. And when you work with children that young, you have to work with the adults, because, children play a huge role, but adults play even more of a role within a family unit as far as parenting and all that great stuff. So, personally, I went through a divorce years ago. We talked about this probably from the time when things were going down. And I do not like marriage. I don't like the institution of marriage. Don't like it. It's great. After you go through, and I end up working with couples, and couples are my passion. I think after you go through healing and you go through what you need to go through to get to purpose, and you arrive at purpose on time, it's pretty cool that I work with couples, and that's my passion. Couples and family, and that reconciliation component. Divorce rate is high.
I love it
separating, owning people.
Yeah, I love it too, because you're also pointing out the fact that not everything is for everybody. I think some people think that there is this mold that they're supposed to fit into, in order to be. And it's not necessarily that way. So, I mean, kudos to you for actually saying that, because a lot of people won't admit that,
Yeah. And Yeah. You know, I don't subscribe to anything conventional. So yeah, it's not for everybody. Not everything's for everybody. I think people just think that because of what society tells you that you got to grow up and you got to get married and you got to be this way and it got to be that way. But it's not for everybody. And the great thing is that you recognize that it's not for everybody, or it's not for you, because what would be worse is to stay in a marriage and knowing that you're not someone that likes the institution of marriage, or you're just going along to get along, or staying in that place to make yourself miserable and subsequently the other person too.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So you were saying, so you love to counsel with couples and families.
Yeah, families, couples, and you know, everybody. You know, if you don't address the areas that you are broken in, you know, really, people don't need to go to. People will live their whole life without seeking counseling, and will be just fine, because if they think they're just fine, then they're just fine. But counseling can help in areas if you are looking at yourself as a preventative, knowing things that run in your family, and you're like, you know what, I want to really talk to a professional just so I don't stumble upon the same things that maybe other people have stumbled. Or maybe it's for, hey, if I don't get myself together, I'm getting a divorce, or my family's going to kick me out, and I really want my family. There's a host of different reasons why people seek counseling, and because mental health is becoming more and more aware of it, we're normalizing it. Now we're coming to prevent, work on communication, to work on emotional stability. You know, so that's a good thing. Even children, parents are like, hey, you know, just FYI, me and my spouse are about to get a divorce, and I just want my child to have someone supportive there to walk them through it. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Proactive. Yeah, that's amazing. I know personally, I've been in therapy for over a year now, and it normally, like growing up, it was like, okay, you go talk to your pastor and you kind of sit down with them, and then that was the extent of it. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that it's a difference to me having somebody that doesn't know anything about you or your situation, and they're just hearing it verbatim as you're saying it. And then they're able to really dig deep and ask those questions that you aren't typically asked, you know, by someone who knows you. So I did discover, through going through some crazy stuff with me a year ago, things in my childhood that I didn't realize I was harboring. And one of the biggest things was just realizing what my triggers were. And it's amazing how when you don't really deal with yourself and you don't go through that journey of self-discovery, that you're walking around with your 6-year-old self still inside you that is operating and demanding to be heard or to be recognized, you know? So it was amazing that I was able to go through that process, still in therapy. My same therapist counsels Chris and I, and it's been eye-opening. And it also helped me. Anybody that knows me, Denisha has known me literally since I was born. She's my first cousin. And I've always been a person that's very hyper, very like on 100 all the time. So I've noticed that since therapy, even in my marriage, it's brought me to a level of zen, because I know if I have an issue with my husband, I know that my next therapy session is coming up. So I've allowed myself to be patient and wait for that session versus lashing out on him or being so upset or angry. So it's just, I take a mental note. Sometimes I even write it down, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I didn't like when he did that. Let me just write this down. And it helps me to address him in a loving way where he's actually hearing me. And then we're able to solve the issue. And most of the time, it's not even a big deal to him. He just didn't realize it. Yeah. And then I'm able to calmly talk to him. Whereas in the past, it was just like, going crazy.
Yeah. You can't help Monique. We know that the Cox family has the ultimate energy. We know it.
Denisha, I don't even know if you know, but if you've ever watched any of my discussions, whether it's on my podcast or here or to Monique, I talk about y'all all the time. So anybody that listens when I'm saying the Reeds, Denisha is one of the Reeds. So I'm always like, I told them the story about how my household is very loud. I said we would go to our cousin's house where it was 5 of them, 2 parents, 2 dogs, Bolo and Midnight. And we would go over their house and they would be silent, completely quiet, watching movies. And we would come in and it's just like,
yes.
Every time.
I love it. Wow. We knew they weren't too far if they were down the street. And it's so crazy how we just got used to that. We spent so much time together and we just got used to that dynamic. The jokes, oh my gosh, there's so many memories that we share. Oh my gosh, you can't even make it up. So, the Cox family is such beautiful people. They go hard for their family. They definitely have a lot of energy. I would call it passion. I wouldn't call it like
passion. Yeah, that's what it is. Passion.
Yes, it's like impossible. It's impossible for me to tell a story of my childhood without mentioning y'all. So that's why I always say the Reeds. And I literally, if you go back any of my podcasts, it's so funny. And it's just, it's just great. Like having the upbringing. So we told the story. Tasha came on to our live and she told the story about how we were selling tickets.
Yes, that's my favorite story. That is my favorite story. It's the worst. Y'all the worst. So wait, Denisha, she was in that too? You were doing it too?
The Reeds. We were with all of us, fending for ourselves, just wanting to eat a little something. Man, our parents used to just leave us to fend for ourselves all the time.
What were we thinking? We were serious. We were serious. We really weren't trying to get people for their money.
Right.
But we were serious. We had a choreography. We were serious about performing. I think we were going to perform like at Refuge Church or something.
Yes.
Like we didn't think that adults needed to be involved. Like we had to get there to do it. So they came and went, and I guess we went to Wawa, right? And got
But you know what? Someone wrote Kid Scammers. I really just think it was just opening the door for entrepreneurship. Like it just taught you at a young age to be entrepreneurs. And look at you now. Look at you both now.
Love, it's serious, like real talk. It taught us how to be entrepreneurs for sure. And the fact that we were hungry. We wanted to get some food. We wanted pizza. Our parents looked at us like, wait,
Oh my God.
Yo. That, man.
Too funny. The memories.
Yeah. We were definitely fearless in those moments. Like, you can't do that now,
No, like for real. And the crazy thing about it is, I was telling them about growing up, anytime our church had any type of selling drive for anything, who did they call on? Us. They wanted us to sell all the candy, all the Skittles and Reese cups and everything else, stand out front of Pathmark, and they would have us working. So we learned how to pitch. We learned how to pitch very young.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Too funny.
For it. We had a lot of
Denise. Denise, that's Denisha's sister.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yep. That's my cuz right there. She's one of the Reeds too. Her last name is Quarles now because she's married. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Denise is one of the 3. Deanna is the middle of the. See, we always separated y'all with y'all brothers. So Denisha has 2 older brothers and then the 3 girls. So we were just like, forget them. It's the 3 girls. So Deanna was the middle child, even though technically Denisha was. Like,
right.
Denise is the baby. She was the baby. Yes. Yeah. I love my cousins. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yes, that's Denise, y'all. The Cinderella cheesecakes. Yes. Yo.
What are Cinderella cheesecakes?
They used to be pimping us. We used to sell them during Cinderella cheesecakes.
What are Cinderella cheesecakes?
Cheesecake?
Oh,
what's a Cinderella cheesecake? Oh, it's a brand?
Yes.
Huh? Are they a whole cheesecake or is it like little miniature
A
cheesecake?
whole cheesecake. It's a whole
Ah.
cheesecake, and they have all different flavors. I just love the basic vanilla
So you guys were selling them?
for church. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Marcella is in the building.
Hi, Marcella.
Yes. Denise said the Reeds and the Coxes were inseparable. Yes. Y'all don't even understand the
I
level
love
of
them.
sisterhood.
Yeah.
The level of sisterhood. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So I know we went off topic, but I want to talk more about just you as a therapist as well. When you're speaking, like I know in my own sessions, I'm dumping all of this onto this therapist, this person. How do you deal with that? And how do you have your moments where you kind of detox it all? Or, like, how do you find your zen? How do you deal with receiving all of that? And then, what is your practice to deal with that for yourself?
Yeah. If that saying is practice what you preach, it makes it easier to teach. You're not blowing smoke. You're not selling wolf tickets. You're not doing any of that. This is a human condition, human services. So if I'm going to encourage other people to do certain things, I need to practice it in my own life, period. So when I say meditation, exercise, gym, and all the, eating healthy, all the things that feel, I need to do that myself. I remember years ago, I think when I first got into the field, I actually had a dream. And I was in like commercial chicken, so like, those
Hold on.
sinks, the commercial sink.
Your phone's going in and out. I mean, your connection's going in and out. You said years ago, and then we couldn't hear you.
And then it blanked out. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be so annoying. So yeah, stop me if you miss if you didn't get it.
No, that was the first time where we couldn't hear you fully.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a dream of I was in like maybe a commercial kitchen store where they had two big sinks, and the sinks were babies. There were a bunch of newborn babies crying, and I was in charge of like feeding them. While I was trying to feed these newborn babies, I heard my kids in the background. They were arguing, "Give me my toy! Stop it!" Stuff like that in the background. And then I woke up, but instantly I understood kind of what that meant, and that's carried today is being able to balance home and work, being able to be there for my children as well as being able to be there for other people, and the things that I practice in my home start to kind of filter into what I do professionally. So it's personal and professional experiences that are just colliding all the time, and the things that I do in my professional life, I try it at home with my kids. So that kind of has a nice balance to it, but then also not taking things home, making sure there are times when I had to say I'm not taking any more clients because I have to get myself together. So being able to apply the boundaries that you tell other people to apply. Boundaries are hard, but you need them. So if I need time away, then I have to take time away. But praying, you talked about fasting. These are all things to get us to a place where I can carry the load of other people, and being patient with the process, because there's no fire. A lot of people do come seeking counseling because they feel there's a fire. And when you calm it all down, there's no fire. We'll be patient. We'll wait. You don't have to hurry up and build rapport. Sometimes building a rapport with a client can take several months. And then some people come and they're extremely open. You meet them where they are and you let them know, I'm here. We don't have to rush. We're going to sit.
Right.
We're going to sit in silence. If we want to sit in silence, we could do that. Just letting them be them in this moment. So those are things I like to practice with myself. I have better communication skills with my family, with my kids and other people, because that is practice what you preach. It does make it easier to teach because now you have gone through certain things. Therapists need therapists too.
Mm-hmm. So like you said, therapists need therapists too. Is it a little bit different because you kind of know like the tools and everything? So when you're talking to your therapist, is it sort of like, is it almost do you think that someone who is a therapist that is a client could be challenging for another therapist because you kind of you do the same thing? So like you're using like, I know what you're doing, you know what I mean? Like, do you think that's difficult?
And that goes back to the article of therapist shopping, is that every clinician is different.
Mm-hmm.
How they challenge, how they create a safe space, how they do things, what is their anchor, and what is their posture, and how they deal with the client. So me and my colleagues sit and talk, or it's one-on-one, and we listen to each other, and I'm able to get feedback from the other, clinicians and stuff like that. You do take like, oh, you're doing this. Oh, you're doing this unconditional positive regard, or, oh, you're doing this. But if I'm looking for something, I need to get myself together. I need something. So I'll be looking to get versus kind of criticize how the clinician is dealing with me.
Right.
So you do it for so long, and I love it. Now you're kind of inseparable. So like, even dating is like, I have an intake file. I need to like stop doing an intake on people. Like, just and enjoy the moment. Like, it's ridiculous. Of it, you can't. We have to have malpractice insurance for the rest of our life, even if we retire. So you can't separate from what you've been doing for a long time, and it's great. It's also great. You just live so in the deep areas of the city, down in the Delta. You live there, so you have people say like, Denisha, there's no hidden message. Like, stop trying to analyze me. And I'll be like, no, I'm just trying to soak up what you're trying to say. Like, I'm trying to serve you.
Yes.
What
I love that. I love that because it kind of reminds me of parenting in a way, because like with my kids, I have Not for Lazy Moms. So at times I want to document everything that they're doing. And then it's like, oh, I can post this, or I can talk about that. I can write an article on this. But then you have those moments where you just want to live in the moment. Like, I want to give advice based off of what I naturally do. Like with Not for Lazy Moms, I don't put things out there that I don't practice myself, because I don't want anybody ever coming back like, oh, she a fraud. She's telling us to do this and she don't even do that with her own kids. My kids, with my potty training, for instance, I started potty training all three of my kids at 6 months old, at least. Chase was the only one. He was 4.5 months old because he was a strong baby. He was sitting up early. But I potty trained my kids very early. So I'm not going to sit around and have a 3-year-old in a diaper, and I'm sitting here telling you supposed to put your baby on the potty when they were 6 months old. That would he look like, what are you doing? But no, I love that, is that you are truly the essence of what you do. That's truly a part of you. And that to me makes for an amazing therapist, because people can see that you're being genuine. They know that you're not just checking off things off of a list out of a book that you learned in school. They know that you are being genuine, and this is who you are and how you are in different situations, whether they feel they're being dissected or not. You're really listening. And it's not easy to find a person that truly listens to what you're going through and listens to what you have to say. For some people, they have to be taught to do that. I know I was one of them. Right. Growing up, I was like always wanting to tell my side. And then as soon as you start talking, I'm like, I'm like, it has to be equal. So over the years, I had to learn, Yeah. I want to say, Billy posted an amazing comment. He said, being in recovery from substance abuse for a long time, the tools I've learned in 12-step programs and therapy helped me in the rest of my life, work, family, etc. That's great. Yes. Kennedy said, my family is very unaccepting of therapy. They actually do not believe my doctor, who diagnosed me with PTSD, depression, and anxiety. Wow. I'm a military veteran. That alone, they should believe you. Wow. This caused me to self-medicate. Goodness gracious. See, This is what people need to just like not judge and really try to understand. because that's not something that anybody and everybody knows about. And I have a father-in-law who is ex-military. He's a military veteran. I have people in my family. So those are true situations, true issues.
Yeah. And I think that it's so amazing to me to see that comment, because, you know, I thought we had gotten past the whole stigma of like therapy, like from the 90s, where it's like, oh, why are you going to therapy? Are you got some mental issue? Are you crazy? Like, therapy is for everybody. And I thought we had gotten past that, but seeing that comment is very interesting to me. That her family doesn't believe in therapy, and especially that she was in the military, like, you know, PTSD, like, that's incredible.
Deneen said, Deneen, who is Denisha's sister, she said, like with a therapist sister, every conversation turns into a therapy session. Yes. Marcella said, I get overwhelmed.
Really it's just.
Go ahead, Denisha.
Oh, I was saying it's really not. I think she's over exaggerating, but you just have good, deep conversation and, you know, let the juices flow.
Yeah.
That's good. And then, Denise, you ain't got to pay but an hour.
Free therapy? Hello? Free therapy. Even though she might be a little biased because she's your sister, but still.
Girl, you better take that. Shoot, those therapy bills add up. It's a cost that is well worth it. Trust me. Having that peace of mind. Oh my goodness. Marcella said, I get overwhelmed quickly. What are the things I can do to decompress quickly?
Yeah, feeling overwhelmed to decompress. So when you're overwhelmed and your thoughts are going a mile a minute, you want things to slow down, but you can't slow down. There's grounding techniques. And grounding techniques is kind of zap you right back into reality, which is like, you know, looking at the walls and seeing what the color of the walls are. What do you have in your hand? I have up. What's the color of my shirt? Touching your hair, you know, even if you want to break your knuckles or put on lotion, things that will ground you to keep you here in reality. And reality is like, things are okay. Slow it down. There's no fire. You want to ground yourself. You know, if you're in a car, that might be a little difficult, you know, because you still got focus. So it's okay to pull over to the side of the road and say, okay, I need to ground myself. My phone is blue. The iPhone. It's just giving your brain a couple breaths so that you don't overwhelm yourself. And even, you know, meditation and being able to have something that you want to focus on. It could be something that you actually see. It could be something imaginary. It could be like a box, something very, very simple. You can close your eyes for 2 minutes and think of a box and just focus just on the box. And yes, people find it hard to do just that. So I'll do those exercises sometimes in therapy, and I'll say, take a couple deep breaths. When you take some deep breaths, it lowers your blood pressure. Sit in a chair and just close your eyes. And of course they're anxious because nobody wants their eyes closed in a session, but you build that level of trust, they're able to do it quite fine. And I say, picture a box. So you want them to get a plain, simple, pointless box. Obviously, when people picture boxes, sometimes they're like, it says purple bows, it has stuff in it. And I'm like, so now we're going to take things out of the box. We're going to make sure it's a plain box and it's not purple and doesn't have any bows. So you can get your place to a simple point in your life. And you see that they calm down and just like that, just a few seconds. You know, it's really teaching, it's that discipline, mentally emotional discipline.
That's something that I'm going to incorporate. So for me, whenever I'm going through like just too much and I have a lot on my plate, I like to watch movies. That is the one thing that, like, I'll tell Chris, like, let's sit on the couch, let's get a blanket, let's cuddle, pop popcorn, and let's watch a movie. And that's the one thing I know will help settle my thoughts, because it's the one thing that will take me away from what I'm thinking, and I'm focusing in on whatever's in front of me. So, and obviously you have to watch what you're watching. Make sure you watch something that's, you know, that's good. But I like an action-packed, you know, movie. I don't like scary movies. They give me nightmares. So like, I just like a good action-packed movie, and it takes me out of whatever it is that I'm and then I think some people think that for instance, when you start wanting to meditate, or if you're even doing some of the practices that you're talking about, I think that some people think that they're supposed to automatically just do it. And what I learned even through meditating, because actually when we meditate as a family, even the kids, even my 2-year-old, finally will sit there, legs crossed, with his hands, and he'll sit there like this. He'll be like this. He'll be like this the whole time because he, but he will actually sit there. It took practice. And I think people need to understand that you have to keep working at it. It's going to take work to get there. So when you need those moments where you're trying to settle yourself, it's going to take a few times for you to get adjusted to it. Me meditating, I could go like 2 minutes tops. Now I could go 10 minutes. It's like riding a bike. It's like anything that you do where you have to get good at it, and then you keep incorporating it and just don't give up. Keep sticking to it. So I love that. I'm going to practice the box situation because when I'm thinking about, I like that. Okay.
You know what's so amazing to me is that your sister said she gives amazing marriage advice, and she's been married for 10 years. You give amazing marriage advice. Yeah, you said you don't believe in the institution of marriage. Is that because the fact that you went through a divorce and all of that you're able to give that advice, or is it like a firsthand? Because obviously you're trained to do what you do, but also you have experience, especially in the being married. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't believe in the institution. She was just saying she didn't like it for herself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
For her.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
During back, we're going to say, I don't know, when did we get separated? 2012, 2013. You don't grow up learning about what marriage is. It's sort of like when you're raised as a young girl, like you like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. There was no there was no teaching. It was just you saw what you saw, and that was like what you were striving for. Upgrade, to singleness. It's a choice. And when you're growing up, you think that's the ultimate upgrade, like you've gotten there. And being a young couple, maybe 25 years old, having 4 children, and navigating school, family, work, and different things like that. That life happens to everyone. And if you don't have the tools, that's what makes the difference. We didn't have the tools, and so he's unfaithful. And even when we talk about infidelity and different things like that, it's still your choice to stay when you're married. You don't have to necessarily leave the marriage once unfaithful. You can work through stuff. That's what counseling is for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but he chose to leave. So on top of being unfaithful, choosing to leave, and had a baby on the way, you get hit left and right. And then you don't even have the experience of someone begging for forgiveness. Like, at least that would have been nice, right? But none of that happened. It was just like, ooh, that's it. So it left a bad taste in my mouth that we could go into a covenant and not honor it. And it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Right. But I think all things work together for good, because going through that, I have couples today, a lot of couples, and I can share with them. I can say, I'm divorced. Like, you may think you have time, but someone can literally just leave because they're fed up, and they could walk out. And you may think you're the one that's fed up and you are trying to, but you don't know what your spouse is thinking, and they can beat you to the point. I'm just saying, we need to do some relationship fitness here. Because
relationship fitness.
I like that.
I love that term. Yes, relationship fitness. That's great.
Yes, I remember. Oh man, girl, don't get me started. I remember that, and I was just like devastated for you and in disbelief, because he just didn't seem like that type. I was just like, wait, what? Like,
right?
Yeah. But look at you, thriving, doing your thing. So proud of you. And in using your story to be a testimony for others and to strengthen others.
Mm-hmm.
That's God doing what he do best, turning the negative to a positive. Won't he do it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Billy said, how would you help someone get past their fear of therapy?
That's a good question.
Mm.
Past their fear, what was that? Their fear of therapy?
Mm-hmm.
Their fear of therapy.
Wow. Oh, wow. You know, one of the things that I always do with intake is just like, do you have a history of therapy? Like, do you have any in your childhood, family, school counselor, a pastor, a mentor, like any experience in counseling, you know, so I can kind of get what their view is come in.
Okay.
Some people have good experiences, other people do not. And so it helps me understand what bad experiences you've had and to explain some things. And I just create a very atmosphere. I don't write during my sessions. You know, those movies or whatever people are writing and they're so disconnected. I don't write or take notes. I do have a good memory. And the notes that I do write are very like simple, just in case they're subpoenaed or something like that. I don't keep anything really written down. But to get over the fear, I mean, how do you get into a sin? Maybe you might want to take someone with you that you feel secure, that you feel protected with. It could be a parent, it could be anybody. Maybe take something with you. You know, maybe say, you know, can I just talk over the phone? Like we're in telehealth now doing a lot of stuff. So maybe face to face might be too much and it might make you very anxious. So maybe can I have a phone call with the therapist just to see if I can vibe with her or him? You know, you want to take some big steps.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. No, it's oh man, it's one of those things, especially when I always say I like when you did an article for Not for Lazy Moms on shopping for a therapist. And I really think that's what it is. You have to find somebody that kind of meets your energy, that you know won't just like massage your shoulder and say, oh, it's okay, but somebody that's going to also hold your feet to the fire and say, well, you know, they just have to know the right approach for the person. And
Right.
yeah, like I think that's
Or like those therapists that let you talk and talk and talk and talk and never say anything. They just kind of like just listening to you because they think that you talking is therapy for yourself. But it's like I'm just paying somebody to listen to me. It's like, hello, you listen.
wait, yeah. So do you get clients like that? And how do you navigate that? The ones that just like to talk.
So I give which is homework. So we always have a plan after each session. What do I expect you to come back with me with? What do I expect? And it depends on the individual. Sometimes they need it. Sometimes they will go and they will go and go and go until they have an aha moment. They just needed time to vomit out. And then they be like, I didn't even know that was in there. I didn't know that was even in me. So it's okay to let them go, because then you'll be like, oh, you're about to hit it. Oh, you're about to hit it. Bing. And they hit it for themselves. So therapists just really reveal the strengths. We just pull them out of you. We just create a safe place to pull what's already in you out. And that's negative things, but it's also strengths. We get to pull all stuff out of you and you get to see like, oh, that was in me. Oh, okay. And you say, do I want to throw it away or do I want to keep it? And that'll be your decision after every session.
I like that. Because that to me, and also I think because of the experience that you have as a therapist, knowing which questions to ask that really gets you going, where it's almost like you're able to come to whatever realization on your own, but you know what you're doing. You're asking a question based off of everything that you're hearing and taking in. And then they're like answering it. And then it's like, oh, wait, okay. You know, I love that. Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And you know, it's the magic that happens behind closed doors, you know. It's beautiful to have these people push past fears, to see people be unapologetic, you know, just being them, period. And you create a space for them to be safe. And I will say for everyone seeking therapy that, you know, when people say a safe space, it's not a place to hide. And what I mean is that when you
Hold on. You said your connection.
Space
we missing
is
some
that
good nuggets
you
right
feel
now.
comfortable enough.
Hold on, Denisha. Hold on, we're gonna give her a second because we want to hear this.
You there?
Come on, come back. Because that was
Can you? I know it was good.
I know she was about to preach. Denisha.
Denisha. Oh.
Hold on. Hold on, y'all. In the meantime, make sure y'all take down her website, sugarcounseling.com, and follow her on Instagram at Sugar Counseling. I put all of her information in the description. All of her articles that she's written for Not for Lazy Moms are there as well. So in the descriptions, if y'all want any information. I love even following her on Instagram. Her daily messages that she posts, just encouraging affirmations. It's really good. It's nice to be able to, we wake up and scroll. So it's nice to wake up and scroll and see something that's going to motivate you. So make sure
absolutely
counseling. Yes, absolutely. So let's see.
Coming back in.
All right, there we go. Can you hear us good? Denisha.
Now it's like it is
okay.
Frozen. Can you hear
okay,
me?
Now we see you and we hear you.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, you're good. All right, cool. All right, you were about to preach for us, and I'm like, wait, we can't hear you.
Oh my God. Where were we before we was rudely disconnected?
What was the last question she answered? And you were about to, gosh.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Jeez, I know you were about to go in.
I was taking it in. Yeah, I was waiting and then it cut out. Yeah.
Talking about
don't depend on my memory. I'm terrible.
Honey, I'm the queen of no memory.
Oh, all right. We're talking about the aha moment when you're basically coming to that realization based off of a question that you might have asked that kind of triggers that that moment where they come where they basically are like, oh, and they're answering it for themselves, but you know what you're doing,
Yeah. That's the fun stuff that happens, and things could be heavy in session. Like when someone chooses you with the very, you don't take that. It's a privilege to be in a session with someone and they talk about all their gold and all their stuff. I definitely don't take it for granted, and I'm always appreciative of how a client becomes more and more honest and more trusting of the session. It takes time, but you just definitely want to make it comfortable. There's no fire. Let's sit and chill, chit chat, and let me give you a different spin on it.
Yes. I love what Denise said. She said her countenance is very peaceful and it makes others feel comfortable naturally. Yeah, and that's very true. Because when we had our conversation, just catching up over Zoom, it was just like we ain't missed a beat. And I just love to see your growth as just a little cousin looking up to her big cousin. I'm like, wow, look at Denisha. And just the way you were speaking and your confidence and everything else. I was just like, this is just great to see you to be able to pour back into people who really need it. So yeah, y'all definitely make sure y'all follow Denisha, visit her website. How have things been for you when it comes to clients during quarantine? Because 2020 was crazy. And I'm sure a lot of people were just like, okay, I'm at home. I have the time to find therapy. Have you noticed any influx of people coming to you, or what was that like for you?
Yeah, so high levels of anxiety, big time. High levels of fear, big time. So it was a lot. We were very busy, I will say, and then having to close down face-to-face and transition into telehealth. A lot of clients dropped off at the beginning because to do video or any type of telehealth or phone session, they wanted that face-to-face experience. But I think when we realized that COVID was here for a longer period of time, then you client come back and say, well, hey, I'd rather do telehealth than nothing. And my anxiety is crazy high. And, I need to get this stuff out. I need the word vomit. I'm like, bring me the vomit and then wipe your mouth. I'll clean it up. Don't worry about it.
Yes. Look at your son in the chat.
I saw that.
Always at peace when I get talking to my mama. What's up, Kamari? That was my boo.
Yeah. Oh,
way too
you
long.
got to see them. They're big.
Oh my God.
Really?
They're big. He's my oldest. He's 18 years old, and oh my gosh, he's.
Look at you got an 18-year-old.
I love to watch.
Wow. Brittany Gates said, "How can I ask my therapist to give me homework? I like unloading, but I feel like sometimes I need action steps. That to me is everything. At the end, where it's like, oh, here's your homework. Yes, I need homework. I need to work on some things."
Yes, yes, yes. A part of therapy is being honest and open. So you have to be open with your therapist and say, hey, I need more. I'm not getting what I need. We don't take it personal. At least we shouldn't, because it's about you and knowing. And so I give homework all the time because it's something measurable.
Yeah.
Especially when certain things take time to overcome. You still want to acknowledge the small milestones, like bringing in homework. This is what I did. You told me to do it. I did it, and it sucked. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. It sucked. You tried it. Scratch it. Let's move on to. So definitely, when you are in therapy, don't be afraid to be honest with your therapist about your needs. Like, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. A therapist sharing, I guess, is important to know. There's not a one size that fits all.
Right. Yes, I love it. It's different from, to me, therapy. What I love about therapy the most is that it's different from going to a doctor. Not that that's a bad thing. And what I mean is that when you go to a doctor because you have some type of issue, they're practicing medicine. So they're going to tell you based off of what the general sense of your issue is, here's what you should do. It's not as catered to, in my opinion, until you tell the doctor, like, no, that's not my issue, and here's what it is, and just listen to me. But like with therapy, it's like you go into it, they have their general space of how they do therapy, but then when you make it known, like, oh, I'm a person that's like this, that, the other, they're able to cater to that and suit your needs. So I do appreciate that about therapy. And if your therapist isn't doing that, go to sugarcounseling.com.
Absolutely. Denisha, I have a question for you. After all your clients have all or patients have all like dumped on you and given you all of their word vomit and all this stuff, how do you not, like, what do you do for yourself that you don't carry all that home with you, or you don't carry that and hold on to that? How are you able to decompress for yourself? Like once everyone's told you all their problems and everything.
Yeah, that's a good question. A part of self-care is, even when you're in present in session, you are able to say, like, I don't have all the answers. I'm able to stay present, and I don't know. Let's talk about that. Like, I want to be as genuine as possible, so that helps me be human and not have like the end all answers. I can be just as surprised as you. And that kind of takes some load off me just to be present. And then obviously you want to you want to go home, you want to decompress, and you're praying. Me, I know that, I'm not going to help the world, and there's things that I have expertise in, and I keep that balance. But sleep, Netflix binging, books,
yeah.
I would say showing up for myself too. Like when Monique said, like, we were like quiet. I think we were just, I don't even know. Like we were just quiet. Like we didn't say much. We were observant. But I think as I navigated adolescence and young adulthood, I needed to show up for myself. I need to speak up when things weren't okay. When me and Monique, we all grew up. I'll say that about the Coxes. They're passionate. They're protective of their. And so like in situations that they spoke up for us, honestly, like we were just young, but I think after having my son, they gave me a voice and began to speak up for myself. I began to have better boundaries. And that is self-care, is when you say, hey, that wasn't okay. I'm not going to apologize for how I'm feeling. I'm just saying that was not okay. I'm going to stop this conversation. We'll pick it up tomorrow. That's a part of self-care too, is being able to have boundaries with people, places, and things. So that's one big practice, is boundaries.
Wow. I like that.
Shantae wanted to know if you're still doing teledoc appointments.
Yeah. Teledoc. Ooh.
Well, I guess
that's
teletherapy. Just like virtually, I guess.
Yeah. Still doing virtual. Actually, when I group practice, I am face to face.
Riley. All I hear is your crunching.
Sorry.
I'm like, she thinks she quiet, and all I hear is crump, 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 and I hear a bag open.
No, it's the grapes in the bottle of my wine. I'm out of wine.
Okay.
I'll stop. I keep forgetting that the earbud is that close to my mouth.
Yeah, I can hear it.
You should have said that earlier. I've been doing it the whole time.
You're good. I didn't hear a thing.
That's funny. No, that particular time, it must have been a really hard grape because I couldn't hear it.
you know, I stopped eating candy, so grapes are my new candy. All I do is eat grapes all the time. I can't stop eating grapes covered in lime. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, at least it's a healthy alternative. Although you should be eating the fruit a little earlier in the day, but still, at least it's better than candy.
Oh, I eat it all day. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. But yeah, Denisha, all right. So are you still doing like teletherapy sessions where people could see you virtually?
Yeah, we're doing both. I do face-to-face and telehealth. Yeah. Still not completely face-to-face, but hopefully working getting back to face.
Okay. Ross Jana Roses said, can you explain examples of fitness therapy?
Are you referring to when I said relationship fitness, or are you referring to like personal training? What are you talking about, Raj?
I'm thinking she's talking about when you said relationship fitness. I think that's what she's talking about. But Ross, if that's not what you're talking about, you can go ahead and clarify for us. But if you want to expound upon relationship fitness, yeah.
I love that term.
I do too.
Yeah. So relationship fitness is just something that I coined to understand how the areas that are weak, and it's, the core of every relationship. It's trust, intimacy, and communication. That's the core. And we work on core areas. So we work on trust areas. We work on intimacy and communication. Obviously, that's a big one. And that's just strengthening the core in relationships, whether it be exercises or truths. We do those things as far as with couples and families who want to reconcile because their core is weak. Yeah. So it just gives you something physical and tangible. Kind of, I'm focusing on the core of a relationship. These are the areas. Just kind of makes things clean and clear and achievable.
Yes, I love that. You know who I just realized was not in the chat tonight?
Who?
Weekly, Ricardo. Where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
So if you watch this back, we noticed that you were not here.
Exactly.
Yes. Relationship fitness. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Look, this has been a great and amazing session. Denisha, thank you so much. I know we ran a little over time, but it was well worth it. For any articles that Denisha has, I said Anisha because she's sitting right here. Remember Nisha? She's here. She's in town.
Yes.
She showed us her hand earlier. She said she'll say it. There's the hand again.
Hey, girlfriend.
Yeah. So yes. So any articles, I listed her articles in the description. Feel free to check them out. Her TICS article is there as well. Trust, intimacy, communication, which I thought was amazing. I love that article. It's so deep and it's so necessary, even for people who are pursuing a relationship, even if you're not in one. I feel like every article that she's written, you definitely need to read. The one thing I love about Not for Lazy Moms contributors, we keep our information short, sweet, and to the point. We give you jam-packed information without keeping you all day. We're not giving you a whole 10-page summary of any situation. We're giving you those power-packed punches so that you can feel motivated and so that you're able to do whatever it is else that you need to do throughout your day, whether you're a busy mom or what have you. So make sure y'all check that out. I also wanted to make an announcement for next week's Wind Down Wednesday. I'm gonna pull us off the screen and show you what we're going to be talking about next week. We actually have two special guests. We're gonna have Zephaniah Farm Vineyard. They are a local to us. They're a local vineyard. Their wine is amazing. I cannot wait to do a tasting live for you all next week. They're sending Riley and I some bottles that we're going to taste for you on camera. You're going to be able to get 20% off of your wine, any purchase with promo code NFLM, which stands for Not for Lazy Moms. You can use this code in person. So if you're local in the DMV area, you can use it in person and online. The code is valid from April 3rd until April 11th. You can visit www.zephwine.com as pictured on the screen. And also we have TLT Play Museum. It's a children's museum. My kids and I went there. We posted on our IGTV on Not for Lazy about this experience. The Little Towns, Maryland is what you need. Let me just say, for any stay-at-home moms or working moms from home, rent yourself a slot. It's private and it's very clean. They're very COVID friendly. They check your temperature as soon as you walk in the door. Everything is very, very clean. The owner who I met, she's amazing. She is just as OCD as me. So you know it's gonna be like literally spotless in there. They have very good practices with making sure everyone is safe. You will get 40% off the entire month of April.
Wow.
Book an open play using the promo code NFLM, valid online, and it's obviously subject to reservation availability. So you want to visit today. I'm telling you, this is not something that you want to miss out on. So they'll be on next week to talk with us, but that play museum situation, they have an area where you can actually go log on using their Wi-Fi. You can be in your area. The kids are playing and running around. Everything is like, it mimics like what we have here in our area in Maryland. They have like a cupcake stand. They have a DJ booth. It's amazing. Check the IGTV on Not for Lazy Moms and you'll see a little sample of everything we did. Amazing. And then you can kind of get some work done at the same time. So make sure y'all check that out for sure. So yeah, any last parting words before we log off? This was great. I love episodes where it's like jam-packed full of information where people can walk away and say, wow, I learned something. Yeah, I didn't drink wine all night.
Yeah, I love it. This is a good platform, Monique. This is cool. I would just say thank you for having me. And let's normalize therapy. Let's normalize support. Help, connections, intimacy, and let's deal with the stuff so that we can live, a healthier, happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Denisha, for coming on. I am beyond proud and impressed with what you're doing. Make sure y'all visit sugarcounseling.com. Like I said before, check the description, follow, support her on Instagram, visit her website. If you know someone that needs therapy, the one thing that I am grateful for about the quarantine is that it's opened up a window and a door for us to accept virtual conversations.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're able to receive what we need virtually, logging onto your computer from the comfort of your own home and being able to still get what you need has been truly a blessing in disguise. So make sure y'all check it out. Shout out to All About the Tea who just logged in. Thank you. Thank you. All of Monica is here.
Hi,
Thank
Monica.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for next week. So until then, make sure y'all stay beautiful and stay blessed. And we'll see y'all on the next Wind Down Wednesday. Make sure y'all get those promo codes and take advantage of them. We have savings all the time. Register for our community. Our monthly newsletter goes out tomorrow. So make sure y'all check that because we have so many discounts. And let me tell y'all, not one of y'all used the discounts that were in that email last month. Y'all were getting percentages off of several stores. Nobody used it. Check your email. Make sure Dr. Lacey Moms isn't going to your spam because I was really shocked at that. I'm like, nobody? We have like over 5,000 subscribers and nobody used it.
Wow.
So make sure y'all check your email. We have a new giveaway tomorrow. Check your email to find out. All right. Take care, y'all. Have a good night.